Just speaking to one of my clients earlier, and he tells me, Tim, it's like my wife dumps her emotional baggage onto me all the time. And I said, brother, you should be grateful that your wife dumps her emotional baggage onto you, because that is giving you the clarity. If you would just read between the lines, if you would access some active listening, some reflective listening, you would see that your wife is giving you a top secret clearance into her heart, into her emotional world, into her experience. See, is she dumping her emotional baggage onto you? Or is she allowing you to hopefully develop clarity about the areas that you need to change so you can create a better relationship? So you take on this perspective of, my wife is dumping her emotional baggage, or is she trying to share with you how she's feeling? See, your perception is it's emotional baggage. Is it emotional baggage? That's the perception that you take of your wife's emotions, your wife's experience, is that it's emotional baggage? No, maybe the reality is, brother, is that your wife has been carrying around this ball and chain called, I need someone to talk to, and my husband doesn't allow me to feel seen and heard, and you haven't been a safe person for your wife because you still consider it emotional baggage. Let me ask you this. Would you respect somebody who considered what you experienced to be baggage? You know that word baggage, that emotional baggage, it takes on the tone of basically that it's a hindrance, that it's a burden, that it's a problem, that it's an inconvenience. And you see, when you start to look at your wife's experience like this, that's when you start to roll your eyes. That's when you start to put up the wall. And that's when you start, right, to not listen. You don't listen. You hear what you want to hear. You hear a version of her experience, which is what? I'm the problem. Everything's my fault, right? Your wife is letting you in to her emotional world. You should be grateful for that. Because had you stepped back, had you learned how to take constructive criticism, see, that's the testament to a true empowered man, is that he's open to receiving criticism because he has a growth mindset. Do you know that you have room for improvement? Do you think that you're done growing? So then why aren't you open to receiving feedback from your wife, the person that spends more time with you than anybody else in your life? Don't you think that there's a possibility that there's something that she can say to you or share with you that might be advantageous to your life and your marriage? Or are you just going to continue to take on the perspective of anything I don't want to hear is baggage to me?